Well, I'm Frank Kanchi. This is Thai PBS World. Today we have very great opportunity to interview the ambassador of Belgium to Thailand, Ms. Sibille de Cartier. Welcome to the program, the ambassador.
Thank you. Sawadee ka.
Sawadee ka.
Very happy to be with you.
Yeah, I think this is a very good prime location for us to have this interview at your residence in Sathorn. So I think, of course, you have been in Thailand since 2020. So you've been here for 4 years, almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years, yes.
What are your initiative, Belgium's initiative in Thailand since then when you came to Thailand?
Okay, so when I arrived, of course, 2020 was, a bit this crazy COVID year.
Yeah.
So we were more in, crisis management mode, although we still did a lot, even online. So we kept, both, the political, the economic, all our project, we kept it ongoing. But of course, since 2022 and the reopening, we were able to, step it to a new direction. So I would say on the political level, one of the important milestone recently, the meeting between our two prime ministers after the Thai election. It was very nice to re-engage at that level. Of course, on the economic side, very interestingly, never went really down, apart from very short moment in 2020. But we were, an important partner in the. Belgium is actually a world leader in petrochemical and chemical export, and so we were we are actually an important hub for vaccine production. So that was one of our major exports to Thailand in 2022. But apart from this, we keep working on all level. We kept working on culture. We had a street art initiative recently, but we had artists coming already a couple of years ago, even before the big reopening. So we keep working on various elements. We are trying to work on a social security agreement with Thailand, and both during the COVID period online and after, we had a meeting to try to explore how we can work on this together, which is in the interest of both countries. So it goes, in many, many directions. So I don't know where to begin.
Yes, there are so many initiatives that Belgium and Thailand work together. Yeah.
Maybe concrete stepstone also, a new honorary consulate that we opened in Chiang Mai in 2020.
Yeah.
And we are finalizing one, so it will be opening very soon in Phuket. So, and I think it's important because we have a lot of tourists coming here, and a big part of them before it was 30%, and I think we are back to this level, go to Phuket. So Phuket is a very major tourist hub for Thailand. Maybe I should also mention academic cooperation, because we are really strengthening the cooperation between universities, and we have had agreement of mutual recognition of some degrees that are recognized, so you can study both in Thailand and Belgium, and it's recognized by universities on both sides. So just one of the example, of a very concrete elements of strengthening of our bilateral relation. And you mentioned the fact that, yes, 4 years here and 2024, and this residence is nearly 1 century that we are in this residence. So
right.
Another milestone soon.
Yeah, it's very important. As a student, actually, as what I told you, I cultivated by the Belgian system. I was in Louvain-la-Neuve University, and also in Chulalongkorn in Thailand. So, as what you said, the initiative between two countries is very important, not just on academics, on technology, on commerce too. So, of course, this year marks 156th year of official bilateral relations between two countries. Of course, you've been here for 4 years. What are the similarities between two countries here?
Of course, the first thing we all think about, and definitely when we are in Thailand, is we are two monarchies.
Yeah.
And we have, long established friendship between our two royal households. So that's one of the thing that we, of course, have to mention. Another one is we are countries in the middle of a region, both sides, Southeast Asia. Thailand is a member of ASEAN and very proactive in ASEAN. And for us, the European Union is at the core of our national and regional policies. I think we are attached to multilateralism and attached to creating bridges and finding ways to find a consensus within our region. So I think these are similarities. I would add one maybe on our people-to-people relation, which is even though we have, very different culture, very different type of communication, both Thai people and Belgian people, they like food and they enjoy, this moment together. And I think this is also something we have in common. We would say in French, le joie de vivre.
Le joie de vivre.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Of course, you talk about the geographical location of two countries. As Belgium, of course, in the center of in Europe, and right now turns into the logistics hub. That's what Thailand can learn from, right? Because Thailand, of course, in the center of Southeast Asia, mainland Southeast Asia. And this is what Thailand can get from Belgium's experience.
I think, of course, two different contexts, different region, and definitely not there to teach a lesson, but maybe some of our assets on the Belgian side is, one of them is very connected. We are not only, transport and, planes, trains, and roads that connecting to our neighbor, but also with energy. So we are a major logistic hub. Antwerp is one of the biggest ports of the world and the second biggest in Europe. So of course that's help our connection to our region, and I think this is one of our. And we are trying to use these assets that we have in new fields. So we have, of course, the Green Deal, which is European agenda for greening Europe and going to a more sustainable future. And one of the way we are entering into that is a major offshore wind production site, which we have created the Princess Elizabeth's Island, which is the first energy island of the world. So this is one thing, but then on the other side, we are trying to, bet into the future. We have a national strategy for hydrogen that we implemented recently. And I really believe that we have major possibility and potential for cooperation with Thailand on this one. We already have partnership and MOU signed with countries in Africa and in the Middle East, so Oman, Namibia, and I am convinced that there is possibility and potential for us to work together. And I'm so happy, I want to underline this, that we are soon reopening the direct line between flight connection between Thailand and Belgium. This is announced recently by Thai Airways. I'm very happy that we are reopening this direct line because I think this is important to strengthen this connection between us as well.
Definitely, because it's kind of like reinforcing the relations in between. And you talk about the Belgium's technology and the initiative on sustainability too. Of course, two countries have two different initiatives in two continents, but Thailand right now, of course, the Prime Minsiter Srettha Thavisin wants to push the EV hub in Thailand, production hub in Thailand, and maybe this is what Thailand could get and to learn from Belgium, of course. Talking about the Prime Minister, he wants to push for Thailand-EU FTA for a long time, and he wants to achieve it as soon as possible. And we talk about another policy is the waiver for Schengen visa. So as the ambassador of Belgium, what do you think about this initiative? Will we see this two policy implemented soon?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, on the EU FTA, I mean, rounds of negotiation already took place. I think from both sides there is real political commitment to move that forward. Of course, it will take time to define, exactly how we are, creating the framework for, this free trade to take place, and this requires, commitment and structural changes that will have to take place. So I think all this discussion is ongoing and goes very more technical than I can do it, but it's taking place with a lot of political willingness from both sides, and I think that's the most important. So now there is an ambition from Thailand to do it in a certain rhythm. I hope this ambition can be met, but yes, I really hope it will happen soon. I would not give you a date, but but I hope it will happen very quickly. And the political commitment, I think, is the most important step. And on visa-free, I mean, this needs to be discussed and agreed by all European partners. So the discussion, the meeting, there is like technicalities around it that needs to happen. So it will take a little bit of time as well, and I cannot say when or what will happen. That may be a little bit too early, but the message from the Prime Minister has been heard at the European Union level and by European member states, and a lot of discussion is taking place. It's a consensual discussion that has to take place among all the Schengen countries, so which is even more than the European Union. It's some countries from outside as well. But I think the first step is Thailand, letting us know that this is what they want to achieve, and let's, move forward on the discussion.
As what you said, like either EU FTA or the Schengen free visa needs a lot of discussion. It needs technical meeting to solve it. But of course, hopefully from your side and other EU partner side could push forward very fast for these two policy. What have you seen since you came to Thailand in 2020 in terms of Thailand's transformation? Have you seen any change to the positive side?
I mean, we had a lot of changes since I arrived. I mean, we had very open elections. We have a new government in place. I also arrived in a deserted country. We have now a country where tourism is booming again. I think Thailand has been successful in reviving its tourist agenda. So we are seeing, I mean, you were mentioning some commitment on sustainability. So there are a lot of things on the agenda, and I think it's valid for the European Union as well. We have a lot of things on the agenda, but putting this into practice take time. But I think it's not only on the government level, but you also have seen a lot of companies, for example, announcing, very important companies announcing their zero carbon strategies. So you have a lot of changes ongoing. So for sure, Thailand's changing every single day, and I have seen it change the last 4 years very concretely.
Push a little bit. How about the challenging side that you've seen in Thailand in these 4 years? Have you seen any challenges?
I mean, definitely we have seen some challenges. I think, every single element that I mentioned come with its own challenges. And nobody is immune from them. You talking about economy, definitely the post-COVID, and not only for Thailand, but for the entire world, was challenging. How were we adapting? We had huge inflation, energy crisis. We all have to, somehow develop new tools and find a way to challenge through this without our citizens paying the price. So that's one of them. Of course, politically, it came with a lot of debates on. There was a call for change, and how do you adapt this change in Thailand's framework has been a huge change and in a huge challenge and a huge discussion. As country, of course, we are looking with interest, on how this is going to unroll in the coming weeks and months. So yes, I think on the social perspective as well, we have seen, I mean, some of the most vulnerable, and again, this is not only Thailand, it's around the world, but that have been affected the most by the recent crisis, successive crisis, and how do we protect them? How do we ensure, the quality of life? These are questions not only for Thailand, they are also valid for us.
Another challenge we have to talk about is recently in EU is about the election. Of course, we see the far right side is surging in the landscape of EU politics. How do you see the development right now?
I think first we have to go into the nuance of the results. And the far right increase is definitely there, but it's not the only result that we have seen in the election. And it's very important, I think, to go into the depth of each country and each result. Of course, the news was, somehow about France and the decision to go to early election, but we have seen also the centers being quite strengthened. In a lot of countries, we also have the left rising, countries like Denmark. In Belgium, we have also some right and far right rising, but the nuance of the result. But we also in Belgium have center that has stayed, or in some parties, because it's divided among many parties, but in some parties increased. So the results are more nuanced than, if you look at the Netherlands, which was in the news for its national election, the result of the European election is quite different than what we have seen for the national election, with the far right coming as a second. So I just want to underline the nuance of the European politics, and that will shape the results. That will shape the new parliament, but that will also shape the new commission. That will influence at various levels the European Union. So it's more than one line story. It's a very nuanced story that will come with all its diversity in the political landscape. But there is a call also from that part, and that I am sure all leaders will address and will take on board in the policies of the European Union in the coming years, for sure.
It's what you said, many levels, many layers actually, right there, in this political change, as in no matter it's far right party right now, they are surging, or the center right party, they are still handling their ground. So we will see how it goes in the near future.
Exactly.
Very good to talk to you.
My pleasure.
Nice tea here, and very good environment outside at residence. Thank you for your time, Ambassador.
Thank you very much for coming to the Belgian residence and its history. It's a pleasure to have welcomed you. And I want to say, to close maybe, that this year is 2024. It's 120 years. We mentioned 156 years of bilateral history, but we have 120 years exactly of permanent presence in Bangkok. We were one of the first countries to establish presence in Bangkok. So it's fantastic that you come to the Belgian residence on this opportunity too.
And on the way come to the residence, of course, we see the Thai-Belgian bridge with a new symbol there.
Yes.
The new design, new symbol.
Also, 35 years since 1880.
Yes, 1980.
So, yes.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Ambassador of Belgium.
Thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you.
Merci.